Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 16 entitled The Present, an Eternal Gift. Well, by the way, I play on the word eternal. What is it? It's a neologism which is the contraction in between eternity and ether, eternity. Concretely, what does it mean? Ether is the fifth element, the equivalent for Hindus, prana, Qi for Qigong, for Tai Chi and so on from the Chinese philosophy, Taoism as well, and the Qi from the Reiki from Japanese. Well, this is the fifth element, that's to say, encompassing, interconnecting all the elements, visible, invisible, physic, metaphysic. Well, let's make it a little bit more down to earth. The present is a gift, grasp it now. Actually, this means literally to grasp. It's two things. To get it means to integrate, to understand. And secondly, as well, to seize it. Okay, to seize it means in the sense to embrace it, to take it as a gift. Why it is a gift? Because it's a treasure. Okay, it's a treasure when we perceive it deeply, fully. Okay. And actually, you know, it's the phenomenon of carpe diem. Carpe diem, literally in Latin, carpe means to pick up, and diem is the day, okay? To pick up the day. Pick up the day is not only the day daily, is the present moment, okay? The power of the presence is really intensive. We're gonna see that actually currently, in our modern society, we are overwhelmed by a deluge of informations all the time. And it's the fruit of a long evolution. And we can compare to even budgets. The textile budget for clothes 15 years ago was 1/3 of, let's say, the average basket of the household, and now is only 10%. It doesn't mean that people don't invest less in the textile. I mean, it's just that probably there is much more center of expenses. It's the same principle, this, another analogy with, I remember in 97, the Kyoto agreements. At this period, the US population was 4% of the worldwide population, generating 1/3 of the pollution. Nowadays, this is definitely less, but it doesn't mean that states don't pollute less. It means that they dilute the proportion compared to China, compared to other emerging countries, Russia, Brazil, and so on, the BRICS and other countries in the world in general. So what does it mean concretely? It means that we are overwhelmed through new activities, and especially, for instance, the social networks. You know, this is what I call, and I baptize a concept entitled the busies of modern times. Modern times referring to Charlie Chaplin, you know, the craziness of the system, which is an anticipation. It was 1 century ago regarding the craziness of our system by anticipation with factory, human factory, using the humans as with the Fordism and so on, all this kind of thing. And actually, so the modern times, this is what we are living now. And what is busies concretely is a neologism, is the contraction of busy, okay? Busy, occupied, and disease. So busies of modern times. And concretely, what is it? Is the fact that we are overbooked. We are overwhelmed. Most people say and complain on the fact they don't have time for anything, okay? If you don't have time, if you don't master time, time master you. It's a question of time management. And also, if the notion of the possession, we never possess, we never own anything, we never possess anything except a little bit of time, is a kind of illusion. Because we can hear commonly, I don't have time. Okay, I don't have time. But then the person will spend maybe 1 or 2, 3 hours on the social network. So it's not, I don't have time. It's a question to take time. Okay, take time, attention, and so on. It's question of priority, it's question of attention. It's different, okay? So center of interest. But let's say, generally speaking, we can consider that we have been overwhelmed through new, let's say, elements, new information, new activities. Social networks are quite prevalent. On average, depending on the countries, ages, and so on, is between 2 and 4 hours per day. So it's quite a lot. Even 2, the minimum, it's corresponding to 14 hours a week. Okay, so it's 1 single day per week. So it's like if it's like, you know, the tax part. So then, depending on your center of interest, but because it can be very interesting, this is a way to exchange and so on. You can have a lot of good articles and so on. But a lot of time, lots of people are complaining also to the fact they are scrolling cats and literally some bullshits, and they recognize, but it's like addiction. Okay, so the notification, also the pop-up that we have all the time, you know, on our apps, different apps, if you are very connected artificially, it's very frequent that we are absorbed. For example, we are discussing, and I just feel vibrating my mobile. So I want to see the message. Who is? So I check the first sentence. Oh, just 1 second. But you are not obliged to go there immediately. Okay, but the fact to be distracted through this app, I mean, in general, you know, just the red dots push us in general just to check who is that and so on. But the fact we are always out of our concentration, we are losing lots of energy, and we are doing mistakes and so on. So it's a matter of fact. But if we go further, actually, it has been proved that 95% of the time, most of the Western people in the world, they are not in the present time. Where are they? They are in the past, or they are in the future. Okay, they are thinking about the past, the memories, not necessarily some, let's say, painful thing like grief or breakup and so on. Not necessarily. Just, okay, you are, for example, I don't know, you are preparing the food, and you are thinking about your day, or you are thinking about your travel and so on. You are thinking about what you said with a friends yesterday. You're thinking about what you will watch tonight. You will think about your meeting tomorrow and so on. But you are not, absolutely not, in this present moment preparing your food. That's why sometimes also we are in a, that we call automatic pilots. Okay, and by the way, it's happened that you're driving and then, oh, we are already here. It doesn't mean that you're blind and you're like, no, it's just that you don't, the images, the pictures of the reality are not impacting your mind. So you don't know, you don't remember, or even a normal task, you say, did I do that or not? I don't remember. I don't have the images and so on, because you are outside. And this is quite concerning because it means that you are not completely absorbed. And you know this phenomenon for example, a couple, and they are just for a date, for instance, and they are just focusing on taking a picture of the dish. Okay, they take a picture, they post it on the social network, and then during the whole meal, they don't discuss, they just check if they have some likes and so on, and they eat like this, so they are not paying attention of the sensation, and so it happens very often when you see in the restaurant and so on, and this is a bit sad in a certain extent. So actually, the fact to be in the present, because it brings the fact that we are just extra of the movie of our life. So the goal is to be more an actor. An actor means that you're active and involved in the present time. And this is extremely important. Otherwise, you know, it's like the kind of monkey mind that we have in a meditation. We will see this part in another wave of videos, another series of videos more for practice. We will see meditation. And the monkey mind is really interesting because the monkey mind is your mind thinking about many things, plenty of things. And it's very difficult to empty your mind. And the monkey mind, one of the key to become a monk, to master your monkey mind, and the master key is to give a banana. What is it? Is you repeat a mantra and so on, this kind of thing, a word, and then you are. So it's possible to be absorbed in your present moment, in your gesture, in what you are doing and so on, because it activates something deep, extremely powerful, not only the single moments, it's just activating the presence and the living. Otherwise, you will never experience the deep connection. You will never experience the notion of belonging to this cosmic breath, okay? And the synchronicities and so on, you are not receptive at all. So this is important, really, to be in this present moment for activating that. And you know, this is actually practicing mindfulness meditation. And meditates, it's just getting back to the center. So medium in Latin means the center. So getting back to the center, it means concretely, it is to gaze on a point, okay, to focus. And it creates insight. And an insight is literally is something like, wow. And this, the presence. The present is when you use it and you absorb it deeply, it becomes kind of magic. And it's really, really, because you access to the notion of the true I am. And also, it's like a block. You don't, this is the principle of wowing. The fact that, wow, there is a scene, okay? And for example, you don't make the difference between the landscape, the observation, and yourself. You are one. This is the oneness, unity. And this is the present at this moment is almost eternal. Let's take another example. When you fall down, this is eternal moment. It's just 1 or 2 seconds, but eternal. The same for when you fall in love. You're like, you know, and you have no idea about how long it lasts, right? And it's the same thing for also accidents as well, extreme accidents. Some people can testify. I have all my life, like a movie of my life, like poof, in a 1 second, and everything unfolds like in a block. So this is something like the instant, and you can hear something deep. Instant. Okay, like stance, okay, stand up, and inside. And this is bringing you step by step to a certain form of eternity. You are connecting to something higher. Actually, this is the notion, the power of the now here. And if you see the now here and now, the now here, if you are really connected with yourself, okay, with yourself, deep self, bringing you to your higher self, your true self, that's to say, the I am, the true I am, you duplicate, okay, you let the little ego, the personality, and you access to your W in a certain extent, right, your higher self. And when you see, you analyze the now here, literally, you can separate the W, okay? Now, here. And if you shift towards it, it becomes nowhere. So it is a kind of vacuum. And the vacuum, we know that in quantum mechanics, the vacuum is full of information. So it's like an empty sponge able to sponge many things. So this is literally metaphysical and very powerful. But for this, you need to empty the sponge of your mind. So This is the principle of concretely the mindfulness. When you are doing something, you are preparing food, you're not thinking about, let's say, the next meeting you will have tomorrow. You're not thinking about the discussion you have with a colleague and so on. You are preparing the food. You cut, you chop the carrots. You chop the carrots. You're not thinking about something else after, or what you will eat, what you will watch in terms of movies and so on. No, you are literally absorbed. Why? Because everything is initiatory. Everything is contains a mystical dimension when we activate synchronicity and so on. Because that's why when we are taught with in ashram and so on in India and so on, most of the time we have some, let's say, normal things, tasks, cleaning things and so on, and because this is initiatory, there is another, let's say, higher significant meaning and also subtle messages. For example, when you clean up your dishes, you clean up your mind. When you clean your room, you clean your mind as well. This is feng shui, this is energy and so on. So there is like a resonance, there is like a force, an effect replying you, like a mirror effect. This is really powerful. So this is important to do like this, because also it allows you to develop something. You know, the power of the present, which is interesting when you analyze pre-sent. It means that literally it has been sent before, so it's contingent, okay, it's potential. And the goal is to activate it. But most of the time, once again, if we're an extra of our life, we are just passive, and it's boring, and life is just dull and black and white. And if we want to create some colors, is the fact to be inside. And by the way, so it's opened up the door of the living, the connection, and the synchronicity, and you feel even for insignificant task, it's reveal a very deep meaning for everything. And you are taught with many secrets of universe and so on. I saw to you. So this is something very deep, and actually, the more you practice that, the more you will feel and activate the living and the presence, and you will become more and more enthusiastic. I repeat myself, but enthusiast in Greek means literally, it means crossed by divine, okay, by God, by the source, by the great all, whatever you call it. So another point is very funny for the present. The present, we are talking about the present when it's disappeared, because it's like a slippery soap. Okay, I try to grasp it and I cannot. Okay, present. Okay, the present. Every time I talk about present, disappear. Okay, what is the present? The present is 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a second. 1, 2, 3. But I need to wait a little bit, right? The seconds is very powerful word. In English, in Anglo-Saxon languages, like in German as well, Sekunde. In Danish, Slavic, Scandinavian languages, like Danish, like Swedish and so on. Also Norwegian, Slavic languages, Polish, and so on. This is the same principle. Latin languages, okay, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Romanian, French, seconde. This is the same principle. And if you analyze the origin of second, means there is an order. It means there is a first and a third. What is the third part? And what is the first? This is something since I'm a teenager, I'm always wondering. And we can consider this is a coincidence, right? But it's also true because it could be linked to Indian European languages, okay, same origins, matter of fact, yeah. But in Chinese, it's dong. Dong. Means second. I mean, it means literally two. 1, 2, 3. It's like this, E, R, sun, and so on. So it is this principle as well of second, okay? So what do I try to tell you? The first, where is the first? Maybe it's just an assumption, maybe. The second is just the quantum collapse. It means that this is just the pixel, the states amongst an infinity of other ones. So every single second is just a juxtaposition of one state, one state, one state, one picture, one picture, one picture. Normally it's 24 pictures with so on, but a state among a particle, okay, a state, a number of the casino wheel, okay, roulette, and before the first could be the potential, the sphere of probability, okay, you imagine, sphere of numbers, full of numbers, and then the quantum collapse, poof, only one, okay, it's casino wheel, so only one state, 7, okay. This apparently would be the reality. Would be. This is not official, is not scientist, but this is something interesting and I invite you to think about it. Well, concretely, the fact to be really absorbed into the drop, because as Rumi said, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are entire ocean within a drop. The drop of this instant, the drop of this present allows you to feel the current of life, to feel the cycle of space-time. And actually, the more you are in that dimension, the more you are on the all dimensions. And the more you are, in a certain extent, you can reactivate. When you think about the memory, you remember, literally, you reactivate through your members, okay? Remembrance is that, okay, is activation of the cells and the members and so on. So literally when you activate that, they are very, let's say, powerful, intense, okay, it's like HD, high definition of a memory. So that's why it's really important. Another point for this and why it's so important, mindfulness in general, is because it's release you about your potential darkness. When you are focused, it's like when you say, "Oh, I'm depressed," or I suffer grief, and so on. And someone say to you, "Oh, hey, let's go. We go to a show, we go to a cinema, and so on," and you are absorbed in a cinema. That's why, by the way, some people go to cinema because they know they have to switch off the mobile, and they will not go every single second in the in the kitchen to take some food or whatever, or to go to toilets and so on. You are fixed, and this is black, and you have to watch, okay? You focus. It's the same principle. So if so, and someone proposed to you, yeah, during this moment, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, you will be focused. And then, it's true, the grief. I have to be sad in a certain extent, you see? But concretely, when you are absorbed with the present moments, the past is dead for you. It doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it exists, it has its own existence, but separate from you. Space, in the space. It is in his space. It is now here. And same for the future. Why stressing for the hardship of in 1 week? In 1 week, you have the time to sleep 7 times. So why? We know that fear doesn't change the danger. So this is something, when you are absorbed in the present moment, you don't stress for the future, you don't feel anxious also or frustrated from the past, and you are literally in the notion of, like the kids, they are always absorbed. That's why there is a very funny survey. 100% of the cases with 30,000 kids everywhere in the world, roughly the same age, in between 3 and 5 years old, they systematically reply they prefer small piece of chocolate now instead of, second option was the full chocolate packet in 1 hour. Because for them 1 hour is, they don't know, it's abstract. There is only now and now and now and now and now and now. There is only now. There is nothing more. And once you realize that, it's fabulous. Literally, it's absolutely fabulous. And I'm gonna tell you and give you an example that we all do that. It's quite funny. Imagine you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you just open up the eyes and you see your alarm clock is written 5:59. Okay, so in 1 minute you will hear your alarm clock. So you have to wake up. And you feel so tired, you don't want to go and so on. And what do? You close your eyes and you say, okay, in 1 minute is 1 minute. You don't care because you are absorbed by the present moment. So you sleep, and then it's going to be worse because you start a new cycle and so on. But you don't care. At this moment, there is no future. Even 1 minute is no future for you. So if we can do it for that, we can do it in general. It's the same principle when, for example, you plan to drink some alcohol and you, in advance, you buy some medicine like painkiller to avoid to be completely hangover the day after. It's the same principle for weddings, for a celebration, for New Year, and so on. You know that you're gonna suffer, but you don't care because it's another day. So if we can do it for this, we can do it in general. So more down to earth and more practically, I really invite you to do this for a test, for like a challenge, and just for fun as well. You try this test of mindfulness. It means that you really try to be absorbed by what you are doing. You're not thinking about anything else. It's thoughts occur in your mind, just squeeze it. I mean, don't pay attention, don't fight with it. Just try to ignore, okay? You ignore, and then it will disappear like a cloud in the sky. It's the same principle. It depends on the credit we put on it, okay? Attention or not. So, and a good way for that is the principle of the monkey mind. You try to occupy the monkey mind. You give a banana, and the banana can be just repeating, for example, present is a gift, present is a gift. And literally you do that. Or it can be also auto-conditioning, self-conditioning with the notion I'm more and more happy, or be happy, or whatever, what you want actually. But one good one is this one, is the present is a gift, the present is a gift. And like, oh, you can sing if you want, so just you are absorbed by what you do. And you will see step by step the presence, and you will feel in another dimension, literally. And because you are touching a kind of eternity. Well, another way is to visualize when you discuss with people, or in general. You can do both together, but you have the feeling to, with your eyes, to be a light projector. Okay, so you project some lights. Okay, it's kind of ether and prana as well, so it's good for people. And this is your insight. This is a way to focus, okay, on someone, observing someone with the full package, the content, the form, everything, the entirety, the complete full body of the person, and the content and the form. You are literally absorbed in it. You are in symbiosis. You are making one with this person. This brings you to unity and oneness in general. So I really invite you to do this test, and as long as possible. I mean, you try, because it's a challenge, you try at 6 o'clock when you wake up, and then the goal is to prolong, to extend till the end of the day. And if you have some moments you think about something else, it's not a big deal, okay? It's not, it's just for doing regularly, and the more you will do that, you will see how your life can change, definitely. Well, I invite you to meditate actively, passively, and intuitively regarding these all elements we saw. Secondly, watch this video several times, eventually take notes, rephrase, reformulate, try to synthesize, and try to transmit with someone else. Like this, you will visualize your degree of understanding and knowledge, and if you need to deepen as well. And I invite you to share the videos with someone you appreciate, your relatives, and so on. Like this, you will see the perception, and you can combine to extend the consciousness. And once again, this is only one key, and step by step, you will shape your own master key. because once again, it's really up to you to open up the door of consciousness. And once again, there is all the roads lead to Rome and to home. Thank you for your attention and see you later. Bye-bye.